Good afternoon and welcome back to the Kickin podcast. My name is Hayley Miller and with me is Emma O'Driscoll. You've written here a round of applause, so would you like one?
Of course.
Watch out because Drisco's written the script for today, just, a couple of pointers on what we're going to talk about, and I've had a quick skim through. It's not bad.
Great.
I told you last week you needed to pull your finger out and do something, so I'm really glad that you have.
Thank you.
But you're looking fantastic today. Now, I think this is because you've only just recently found out that this goes on YouTube and people can actually watch it, isn't it? So you've gone and got your hair done today, and they've put a little curl in it too, haven't they?
You have definitely. I knew you were going to bring this up. I knew you were. No, I actually had this hair appointment for a while, thank you. But it just worked out perfectly that we did the podcast on a Monday today.
Well, who also asked for podcasts to be done on a Monday this week?
Me, because I have my hair done. No.
Anyway,
but,
you look fantastic. It looks amazing.
Thanks, girls. We're both blonde now. Hayley's naturally blonde, but does get it dyed. But I'm definitely not naturally blonde, and it's a bit extra today.
It's
a bit
looking
curly.
fresh. You've had a little chop, have you?
Yeah, little
chop. Thanks
for noticing.
I noticed the little things.
I'm glad. But
how
no.
did your Sunday recovery from the game go?
Yeah, good. I had a bit of analysis paralysis throughout the day.
Standard for you.
I usually call my day after game day the hangover day because once all the hype's gone and everyone's left the ground, I feel like I then crash physically and mentally. So it was my hangover day. Didn't do a lot. Went for a nice walk. Went to the beach. Had coffee with my friends. And then I went down to Mandurah actually to spend the night with my auntie, uncle and 4 kids. God knows why. It was a good decision at the time. Ended up being a lot more hectic than I had asked for, but
I like that you keep looking at our guest and we haven't introduced her yet, so she can't actually say anything. And I love it because you're like, wait, why aren't you saying anything?
Where's your opinion on this?
Where's your opinion on my hair? Why haven't you said it looks great? Anyway, we'd better...
what about your Sunday recovery?
Would you like to know about my day?
I would like to know if you went to Little H
agree.
Cafe and got a Little H on top of your cappuccino.
I didn't go to Little H yesterday.
Okay.
Still a sore spot from that one time that I didn't get the H. No, I have been since and I have got the H since, but I didn't go there yesterday. What did I do? It does really knock you around, especially I think that night, the night game, and I was so hyped up, so excited about it. Couldn't sleep, so then I was cooked yesterday.
I'm so glad I
came to the club, did the recovery, and then watched football all day, basically.
Yeah. I'm glad you messaged me, but I'm also glad Kano messaged me. Just, don't you love when someone... Why am I looking... I need to stop looking at Macca. God. Oh, Brett, cut this bit out.
Anyway.
I'm done. Back to what I was saying. I'll cut that segment. Starts 3, 2, 1, cut. Kano actually was messaging me.
Yes, Kano messaged you.
And just said that she didn't sleep either, so then it makes you feel better about not sleeping.
No.
So I'm glad you've said that as well. We're all in the same boat. Here we go.
I think everyone was in the same boat. Now that you've dropped who our guest is already before even introducing her, and I'm sure she'd really like to say something in this whole situation. Now she knows really what the podcast is all about and a bit of a shambles. Ann McMahon, Macca, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Long time listener, first time guest.
Oh, there we go.
She's been practicing
What's
that.
your favourite? How long did you?
Glad to be a part of such a professional outlook here. You must have a good media team.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Macca. We've got the lights involved for you today.
Yeah, do we normally have the lights
for my
on?
hair.
It looks great, Drisco. It looks great.
No. How
How are you feeling? How are you feeling being on the podcast? Long time listener. What's your favourite episode so far?
I mean, Juddy was pretty good last week.
Yeah.
A fair bit of banter in there, which it's going to be hard to match up to that. But
let's we used to do this thing where we rated the previous guest. What are you going to rate Juddy's podcast out of 10?
What are we going out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there wasn't much that I could fault. I'm going to say probably a 9.
It's our highest.
Jeez.
We're definitely improving.
The other point was a mention and it didn't happen. So,
well,
I'll deduct a point.
I'm going to deduct a point because you didn't get... Actually,
no, we did. We talked about the Debbies. Oh, no.
No, we didn't know then. We didn't know then, so we definitely didn't
I think
mention
Juddy's
it.
pick was Tux.
Yeah,
so.
sorry, you didn't get a pick.
Okay.
None of us picked her.
So that point off, though, is for Juddy, because you're in the forward line, Macca, so she had to choose you, not us. It's fine.
The question was posed to Juddy. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Juddy.
Jodie, be better next time.
If we were reading the script then, it was actually going to say without further ado. I thought that would be a really great way to segue into Macca being introduced, but I obviously let it slip a bit earlier. But I wanted to introduce Macca as the debutante from the weekend.
Absolutely.
But also the definition of resilience. Just
100%.
leading in.
Well, we're going to go into your story a little bit later, but Drisco wanted to get straight into the game. So we're going to dissect the game. Now that you can join in, what are your thoughts on the game? How good was it?
Oh, it was, incredible. I mean, really good to get away with the win in the end.
Oh, continue, sorry. Drisco's just playing with Macca's
Drisco's
microphone
trying
as she's talking, because that's not off-putting at all.
Just give me a break, Drisco.
Just away from the microphone. Anyway, continue.
It was really good atmosphere, the crowd, the win, everything just all together. The first game, it was, incredible.
You've obviously watched a few of them from the sidelines, but talk about, when you found out that you were going to debut and then what it felt like, I guess, the lead up. Talk us through the lead up to the game.
So I guess I found out, I had to keep it a little bit of a secret because I found out on Tuesday because I had a quick chat with Coops Monday and I was meant to be working sort of an evening Arvo shift Wednesday through Sunday. So I kind of said to him, look, if it's a no, that's okay. Just let me know so I can, go to work kind of thing.
So that's how
and
you
if
found
it's,
out.
if
That's
it's-
how you find out
if
whether
it's
you're
a maybe,
playing,
yeah.
whether you're playing a
I
little
wasn't even
earlier than
working,
anyone
no.
else. Actually, Coops, I've got work. Am I playing? Yes, you are. Awesome.
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry, got to get work off now.
Yeah, so that worked out nicely. But found out Tuesday after the jumper presentations. Gave Izzy a quick bell during that conversation. She was half asleep, so I don't think she knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going on. It was still fairly surreal. And then, the lead up, I suppose I had to keep
that
it.
video was unreal.
Yeah.
Like,
Again,
that was so wholesome. I cried.
I was crying like
Yeah,
a baby.
yeah.
And I reckon I watched it 5 times.
I think there was a lot more of that video, but I tend to have a bit of a potty mouth, so
They
I
could
think,
put it in
I think
there.
the bleepers were going.
I don't think you need to worry about that. I'm actually on the podcast, so
Somehow, Drisco's made it on the podcast. Although last week, I actually didn't listen
Miller
to
was
last week. but-
potty mouth. Oh, Captain, my captain has a potty mouth.
What about the game itself? Or
Um,
the lead up to the game? So, like, say, the day before, the day of.
Yeah, so very overwhelming. There was a lot of messages of support, and a lot of the girls had messaged just to say how much it meant to them as well. So that was, it was fairly overwhelming. And I just tried to, as much as it was amazing to get all of those messages, I just tried to focus on what the game was going to be like and visualise what I was going to do and how I wanted to play my role. And oddly, I was pretty calm on Saturday. I think Izzy was more nervous than me, to be honest. She was kind of up and about. Had a crack at me for the music that I was listening to on the way there. 'Cause she said, this is too boring, so put something hyped up
Hang on,
on.
she's not allowed to say that. This is your day. not
Yeah, whose
hers.
game day
She's
is it?
too hyped. Don't get too hyped.
That's too good.
No, but incredible. So, aside from marrying Iz and our wedding day, that's one of the days that...
Oh,
Oh,
great
probably will never-
answer.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I was going to roast Izzy later, but I can't now. No. I think that's a very lovely answer.
What was your highlight of the actual game?
Oh, I reckon I can't get out of my head Epps's the first goal. I just
Perfect. I literally had that as the next question. I had that.
I like to think that I kind of had an impact on that play just before.
Of course. Assist.
Definitely an assist.
Yeah.
If they haven't got that stat down, I'd like to have that amended if I could.
Let's
We'll write to the AFLW.
cue in highlighted Macca to make sure we know on the vision what she did prior to that.
Yeah.
What did you do prior to that? Just
Well-
refresh my memory.
So from my recollection, which could be warped, the
From my recollection, I ran right next to her, just handed it straight to
And
her,
said, "Kick
and
it,
then
you can do
kick
it.
you
Goal
can
of
do
the year,
I
you've
believe
got
in
it."
you. It's going to go like this. It's going to banana
Here's
straight
your
that
check.
way, and
That's
there you
it.
go.
Yeah, I did say the exact angle she had to kick.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think so that it was a the footy sort of came in deep towards Brez and Gooch.
Yep.
And I think Brez was trying to put a bit of a shepherd on for Gooch to give it some time to do the switch.
Yep.
And I think that it was my pressure act at the
Of
time
course.
that forced Gooch's kick a bit wayward, which then gave Tux the
that.
opportunity to put some pressure
Yep.
on.
Incredible.
But, I mean, I'll give Tux that one. But, yeah.
It was
definitely.
there.
That was good.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
there.
but we're going to look 10 steps behind.
Yeah, we do. We do.
To
I
lead
agree.
up to every goal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened
100%.
before that, but
No,
you were
I
probably
agree.
there, Drisc.
Yeah.
I feel like you were
Yeah,
probably
mate,
there.
I was there.
I definitely had an impact at some point down that line.
Mim was rolling around.
So
for half the game.
basically,
I think there's a
we
couple.
all-
I'm pretty sure that
Basically-
photo I passed it to you,
You
after
did. Thank
that.
you very
so-
much for the stat.
There we go. So yeah, basically what we're saying is, Ebony, if you do win Goal of the Year, we all
I'll
deserve
take a share.
share.
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful. Gorgeous.
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that.
Yep.
No, that was good. I did have the next question as
You do know you don't have to go, guys. I had the next question as.
Well, you know what? I'm proud of myself for writing such an incredible script. And I just wanted to shout out that I wrote it as a coffee shop goal because that's how good it was.
It was.
But the coffee shot goals are like just standing on the boundary,
Oh.
set shots.
I mean,
Well,
I'll
I
give
thought
her a
that would
coffee
be
if she gives me the
close.
10,000.
Yeah.
No worries.
No, no worries at all. You can have that.
Perfect. No, okay.
I'll get her an
Coffee.
extra large.
What-
What do you
what's
want?
your order?
Do you want a H? I'll get a H.
I'll draw the H
I'll
on
draw-
myself.
I'll learn specifically how to do
I'll do a barista
the best.
course.
Yeah, the best
worries. Take
the rest
recipe
of
art
it.
ever.
I'm going to make the H cut out. That was probably too far. I think it was way better when I just
Did
stopped
you have that
talking.
written down on your sheet of paper there?
I didn't, mate. I'm unscripted, Macca. Didn't you know that?
wow.
The script's only for Hayley.
Anyways, look, speaking of bold moves, you're making some bold moves on the podcast.
yeah.
But Gabby in the midfield,
I love that.
Drisco forward a little bit.
Oh, that's had 4 question marks next to it, might I just say to everyone.
Why did it have 4 question marks?
Because I'm not sure about the decision that was made. I don't think it was too bold. But first we'll talk about Gabby in the midfield. I
Yes,
actually
okay.
thought Gabby had a pearler of a game.
She
I
did.
thought she was very clean.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
thought,
her in the midfield.
Yeah, it's just just that bit of like, I guess, ball winning ability, because you're obviously really good on the outside, Miller, taking those explosive steps, and Turbo's obviously the tackling machine. So I think it worked really well.
Yeah, she certainly complements our midfield, and I think it works pretty well in there. Obviously, it's disappointing that Phil is
Yeah, of
injured, and
course.
she's trained our whole pre-season in that midfield, and Gabby's literally come in the last week and just taken it. She's done a little bit of midfield before and whatnot, but to take it on that quickly and then just go in there and play a full game pretty much as a midfielder is pretty it's pretty, like, it's daunting to do that and feel like you potentially feel like you don't have the preparation, but
No,
she obviously
nailed
took
it.
it. She took it real well.
Definitely did it justice.
Now, Drisco. Look, there was a lot of comments on Twitter that were like, can't wait for Hayley to roast Drisco about missing the goal. And I'm not going to do that because that is not the kind of person that I am. And I know it's a bit of a sore spot. It's only been a couple of days and we're still mulling it over. So I just wanted to pump you up a little bit.
But I just wanted to say that I did right here. Can bring up my point, lol, but still a fresh wound.
It's still a fresh one. Anyway, okay. So what I wanted to build you up with is you're not the only one that's ever done this.
Okay.
So we go back to you're putting yourself in. So you think about people that kick 10 goals a game and they put themselves in this category of amazing players. You just put yourself in a category of some amazing players that have done
Brilliant. Can't wait.
some unfortunate things
Yeah.
in front of goals. So the number one that comes to mind is Josh Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing for Western Bulldogs, I believe, at the time, and very similar to you. I reckon he was under less pressure than you were, and he absolutely shanked it off the side of the boot.
Gorgeous.
So look, there, tick there. We all know Nick Revolt, grand final.
The librarian. He
The
crept up on
librarian,
him like
yes.
a librarian.
Yep, that famous line. He crept up on him like a librarian. They never heard him coming, and got the smother off the boot. So
But we still think
and
he's
that was
incredible.
that was in a grand final, and we still think people talk about it a little bit, but they talk about all the other things that he did. Other than that,
Yep.
and that was in a grand final,
Yeah,
rough.
the whole world's
right
watching.
at the start too. You'd be really dirty on yourself. Matt Taberner did a very similar thing last year.
Yep.
So he was running into an open goal. defender came through and
Yep.
put the pressure on the last minute. Taylor Harris has done it.
I have it. Yep.
I've seen her do it before, and she's got a bloody statue. So maybe that's
Get
what's
her a
coming for you
statue.
next.
Okay.
That's what's
Can we
coming for you
arrange that?
next.
Can I
We'll
have a
arrange
statue with a point post? Because I think it's 9 points for hitting the post.
Well, especially from that
From
range.
where you were,
Yeah,
yeah.
from where you were. That's 9 points for sure.
9 centimetres away.
Who
you
needs
get
those little
9.
men outside
You know what,
that
the
will
last-
kick the hit?
The
I've got a
last
poll.
one that comes to mind, Drisco, is Gemma has also done
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, you know what, and the time I remember her doing it
the same
was the
stitch.
St Kilda
Yeah.
game, and we only won that by a point. So really
Important.
That's an important point
Very
that she kicked.
important.
And like I said to you when I messaged you, and I said, look, it didn't change the outcome of the game or anything like
Yes,
that.
this is
Obviously, it's disappointing for you. And in my brain, do you know what I want to see is the behind the goals vision of the rest of the team when it happened.
Celebrating?
Because I was like, here we go. I am on here. I am going to sprint. I was outside 50 and I was off. I was
Oh
coming
my
for you.
gosh.
I was like, this is it. This is it. And then, like, I reckon there was a few of
Yeah.
these.
I
no.
definitely had the early celebration
Oh,
going. I think Anya
God.
did too.
See, maybe everyone
You've made
jinxed
us
me.
look like
Yeah,
absolute
look.
So I
butts.
think next time we just think she's going to hit the post,
And then,
and I've
gonna go
straight through the middle.
yeah.
Okay.
Just don't
Anyway.
run over the line next time either.
Yeah. Anyway,
not
don't
a-
put that in her head. No, she's going to overthink it.
Again, jinxing. I'm all about that superstition. Don't even put it in my head, and I won't bloody do it.
Anyway, you're in a list of very prestigious players there
Thanks,
that have
Mila.
made an unfortunate mistake, and the next one you're going to get.
It's just like stubbing your toe, I reckon.
In what way?
Yep.
Yeah. In
Just, it's just bloody unlucky.
Oh, it's just unfortunate in the fact that it's unfortunate.
Your toe just came
stab
out
your
of nowhere.
toe.
did it?
Don't you hate it when the table leg comes out of nowhere and stubs your toe?
The boy's just staring me in the face.
The pole just came out of nowhere and
Oh.
got in the way of the ball.
Look, there's always a next time.
There's
I
always a
better
next
be,
time.
you know, even if it takes me 10 years to get that bloody goal, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a backflip.
I like that.
Actually, no,
what
I
wanted
forgot to
see.
do a backflip because we won. I did say I'd do one if we won on the first potty.
That's all right. If you kick a goal, I'm expecting a backflip. Okay?
We can't say that. Jinx again. Don't
Oh.
even say if you kick a goal.
Okay, well, I won't mention it for the
When?
next 5
When
years.
you kick a goal.
Okay.
When?
Good. That's
It's
better,
happening.
actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
gorgeous.
Moving on. Moving on from that. How did our Debbies go? So we obviously
yeah.
had a chat about yourself. Amazing forward pressure. How many tackles did you have in the end? Do you know? Did you
I'm
look
not
at your stats?
100% sure. I think potentially 7,
Yeah,
8
6.
maybe.
That's great.
I don't want to go too
Yeah,
high.
well,
Go with
that's
8.
pretty good. Yeah, we'll go with 8.
get it
That
up.
sounds pretty good. We were going to say that you had a couple of missed opportunities, just to also pump up Drisco's tyres here, that you
Yeah.
also missed a couple of
Yep, yeah, you're not alone,
opportunities.
Drisco. At least you hit the pole. I missed everything.
But that doesn't go on the stat sheet.
Yep,
No one
so
knows.
If they didn't watch, it didn't happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Oh, that's too good. That is too good.
how
And
did
how
the
did you
rest-
get through that tough time, Macca?
I think
need
I
some
just
tips.
told myself that someone pushed me, and that was
Oh,
yeah.
gorgeous.
was the
Gorgeous.
pressure?
Let's not go back on the vision though.
It was,
Okay.
it was the
We
pressure.
won't. We don't look at vision again. That's fine.
We don't. No vision comes up on these
No,
podcasts
no.
ever. No. How'd the rest of our Debbies go? Thoughts?
I thought they did well. I thought that everyone, I think before the game, Coops got us all in and spoke about how each and every one of them would give us effort. And I thought that was really evident out there. I think every one of them tried their absolute hardest. I think they all played their role as well, didn't try to do too much, weren't just sitting back either when the ball was close to them. I think they, bullet
Well,
a gate.
you know what
100%
we're not
of it.
going to hear the end of? Ellie has been nominated
Oh.
for a Mark of the Year. A Mark of the
No,
Year
she hasn't.
nomination for a running back with
Can
a
you
flight.
nominate yourself for that?
Okay.
It sounds like something. Yeah.
Quite possibly.
I'm
I'll have
done.
to ask her.
I'm done. I can't deal with that. Oh my
So anyway,
God.
we may not hear the end of that. But I think, well, Tux's forward pressure, we
Yeah.
spoke about things that happened before Epps' goal. She certainly, put on that pressure in the forward line. I think, Eastie, like their midfield is real solid. So to come into that and,
Hold
play
your
a
own.
role and hold your own in there, fantastic. I know that poor girl was so nervous before the game, but managed to shut all that out and work with it. J-Lo,
Oh,
J-Lo, her
so
first
good.
quarter, I think Coop said at quarter time,
Yeah.
he said that's the best zero possession, first quarter
100%.
of anyone. So,
Yep.
as a backliner, you often don't get the stats on the
Yeah.
stat sheet, but her, pressure
Body
and
work.
composure and all that kind of thing was fantastic.
Yep.
Who am I missing?
Tux, Eastie,
Oh,
Anya, of course. Is there one?
Anya.
Tux, Eastie, Macca, J-Lo, Anya, and
Early.
Early.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, Anya, I think for
She's such a
obviously
presence, isn't she?
Mim, you're fantastic in the ruck. I love you. But you went off for a period of time, so we had to have Anya come in to the. Like, why would you get a head knock? Honestly.
Excuse
You're
me,
all
that's
okay?
why I went into the forward line and had
Oh,
the
so
most embarrassment I've ever had in my
So it
whole
was Mim's
life.
fault.
Because Mim.
Well, thank you. But in that time while you were gone, Anya came into the ruck, and it was so good to see her in there because the last time she was in there really for a stint of time, unfortunately, she did injure herself.
Yep.
And, to put herself back into that position and, I know she said during the week, she was like, I'm just getting used to, like, the jumping, landing, like that
Yeah.
rucking sort of thing again. And, like, the body work involved in
Amazing.
that. So to come in your first game and then, she had a bunch of hit outs to advantage, and then obviously in the forward line, having that tall type, we
Yeah.
haven't really had, apart from Mim when she goes down there every so often, but drops the mark when I kick it to her. Still, how long ago was that?
It's still fresh.
I was going to say, that was like a
fresh.
couple of years ago now. Was it? Or was that last year?
Oh.
It may have been a couple of years ago, and I still remember it. I laced her out, and she bloody dropped it. And but to have a tall target coming out is it's pretty daunting for the opposition. And as she gets more confident, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Excited
no,
to
I
see
can't,
what's-
can't wait to see her take a hanger.
Oh,
She'll
could
be
you
early
imagine?
in the mark of the
Yeah.
year.
yeah.
Come on, Anya, please do it for the rest of us.
It'll be unreal. That will
Do
be
it for the
unreal.
rest of us. And then, so neither of you are there, okay? So we're apparently going to try a new version of the song.
Yeah, I reckon we need to do
This-
the full thing.
Oh, righto.
Well, we're going to do the full thing goes, the normal one, Freo Way to Go, and then does the middle verse,
Yep.
and then does the Freo Way to Go again. So we're just going to start for the middle verse and then go
Yeah,
to the
sure.
end
To
bit.
go
way
where
up.
the, what is it?
How do we
something-
feel about
where
that?
the rollers and the rockers.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
With
go.
the mighty Freo
Go,
Dockers.
Ruby. Yes.
Gonna roll them and we'll rock 'em. We're gonna
Fantastic.
send it.
The notes are not stopping you. Keep going.
And if
they get up,
if they get up, we'll do it again. Dockers stop at nothing, Freo.
Yeah,
Stunning.
fantastic. Just like that. Anyway, that's exactly what it's going to sound. And she's just head
Can we get a concussion test?
She's just headbutted the.
I'm just rocking out.
She's rocking out so hard. She's headbutted the microphone. Anyway, we need a scat test in here, Tane.
I'm back.
Anyway, so I think that's an overwhelming yes for the potential new version of the song. We're not going to ask the club. We're just going to go with it.
What does Macca think?
Macca, what do you
Oh, I think that was amazing to watch. And if that just happens again, I think next win, we just all stand in a circle and watch you do that. Because I feel like that works.
done.
I think this is the break you've been waiting for.
Know your
Remember
role,
when you
play
said-
your role.
You know when you said, like, we were
ENTP.
discussing what else could you be? This is your
This
time.
is it.
Yeah.
You're going to be a performer.
I'm gonna be a performer. Perfect. I'm
Don't let
there.
the nodes hold
No,
you back.
I'm not
see?
limited.
You're not limited.
I live with them.
Now, just finishing off on the game, do we think, obviously, it was a fantastic first win. How are we feeling going into round 2? We've got GWS this week. We go into a hub for an extended period of time. How are we feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited to sort of have some experience of what it would be like to be a full-time athlete. So for me, generally, there's a lot of training sessions that I have to do a shift either before or after, and then come to training and get that done. So it'll be a little bit of a nice gig away for me to...
Yeah, we know what it's like to be unemployed physios. Well, what did we do today? Did you go to the beach today? Oh, no, you got your hair done. So that's what
Even better.
that's what
10
happens.
years since I've had my hair done.
It's like, I'm on the grind 24/7.
Anyway, that's
Haven't
what
slept in
I
12.
can tell you right now. That's what happens. You just find fun things to do throughout the
Sounds
day.
incredible.
So we'll teach you the ropes on what to
Yeah,
do.
Mackie, you'll learn.
You'll
quite
learn real
quickly.
quickly. I'm sure you'll just slip into the unemployed. Well, not unemployed. You're not unemployed,
think
but
just-
just the full-time athlete life real easy. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
can't
Sounds
wait for
great.
round 2. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Now, Macca, going into your specific, footy journey, tell us, like, how did you start playing, and how did you get to the point of being drafted by Freo?
So I started out playing at Quinn's District Junior Footy Club.
Mm-hmm.
When I was
Northsider.
Yeah, that's it.
Love
When
that.
I was fairly young, there was a lot of the boys from school that were playing, so I kind of tagged along there. And from memory, I was the only girl on the team, which I think was the case for majority of us.
Yeah.
Played sort of through till I think it was 12 or 13, where they started to say, you can't play with the boys anymore. And from that point, I kind of stepped away from footy, and I was playing hockey as well. So,
Did not know that.
Yeah, neither.
yeah, I played a bit of state hockey back
Right,
then.
Kate Star, settle down.
Yeah, Kate
Gorgeous.
Star. There was a Kate Star Cup. I was wearing one of her shirts at one point.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I think it was maybe under 15s or something. There was a Kate Star Cup. So, yeah, we go way back, Kate
Yeah,
and I.
right.
Right.
Unlucky.
Oh, poor Kate. She hasn't had much mention on the podcast, and then you just ripped her.
That was her moment. And
That
you
was
just
it.
bloody,
She'll love me for that.
you
Sure.
got her a ripper.
You can run an extra 2K time trial
No,
before
you
you
got
get
to give
another
it back
game.
to her. That's how you earn respect.
Anyway,
Right.
please quickly continue on before Drisco digs herself more into a hole.
So,
Sugar.
yeah, played a bit of hockey, and then sort of stepped away from that to join the police.
Yep.
So I joined the police in 2013 when I was sort of 18, 19. And then Dave Burton from West Perth Footy Club would not stop hounding me. He would find
Standard.
any means necessary to message me, call me, tell me when I was coming down for a kick.
Yeah.
And I finally gave in and said, look, I didn't want to commit to anything just because I'm new to the police, and, I wanted to give sort of everything to that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, just come down for a kick, it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden,
Got hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was back in it.
Yeah.
It was, I was addicted. So I couldn't stop myself, and it was, again, going from night shifts, finishing at 7 a.m. and then going to play on a Sunday down at West Perth Footy Club with Pewey and Ash Hill at West Coast. So,
Gorgeous.
yeah, there's a lot of memories with Pewey there as well. So
Chewy did tell me that the highlight of your football career so far was winning the West Perth Premiership with her.
yeah, I'm glad she remembers
tell
that,
us
'cause
about
that was a bit of a moment. I don't actually know what the score was or anything, but I'm going to say that we were down and I kicked the winning goal. I think Buey recalls it a lot better than I do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know the story? I feel like you
Remember
know the
on one of the Big
She
Mother
did on one of the Big
episodes,
Mothers.
she said her favourite, like we did our favourite footy moment.
Yeah.
And she said when Macca kicked the winning goal for the West Perth, was it
From
reserves?
It was reserves, yeah.
West
yeah.
Perth Reserves Grand Final.
Yeah.
And it's like raining,
Yeah.
like fully like
It was windy,
windy, like
and
the
lucky it was windy.
horrible
'cause
weather.
I think I tried to snap it from about 60 out, and thank God it was windy. Just
kept going.
carried.
Just get going.
And I was like, you bloody beauty. I wouldn't have made that in my life, but
It was a ripper goal though. It was so good.
I was just as shocked as anything. So, yeah, glad Pewey brought that one up because that was a nice little moment for us.
Yeah, perfect.
So if we make when we make the grand final and we need that winning kick, the winning
Yeah,
you're
call
just
me
gonna,
up.
You're
Yeah.
even if it's a set shot from 60,
Yeah.
you're gonna snap it.
I'm going to snap it
in the
and just
rain.
hope that someone's...
in the rain and we're just gonna watch it sail through.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as there's a wind. If there's not, everyone needs to stand behind me and start really blowing hard.
That's so
Oh, that's
good.
fantastic.
That is so good.
Well, then what's your favourite position, mid or forward?
Ooh.
Because you played mid.
Yeah.
You played mid a bit you played with East Freo.
East
for a
Freo,
bit,
after that,
and,
yep.
and West Perth and played mid a bit, both of those.
Yep.
Mid or forward?
Oh,
Well, now you're forward, obviously, for Freo. So.
yeah, I mean, I love both. I think if I was to lean towards any, it would probably be be the midfield, just because I do like to get sort of stuck in and be that in and under type player. So if I had to choose, I would say mid, but I do love a bit of both.
Yeah, wicked.
Everyone loves kicking us.
Please don't put me down back.
No.
Why?
Panic
Back is
stations,
so
mate.
fun.
It just, I don't want to be charging at the footy and have an army coming behind me.
I am
don't
the
like
biggest
that.
panicker
Hang on. So
ever.
maybe you missed a goal, but I reckon there was twice. You were running into an
Hopefully the same
open
time.
goal
You did,
the
yeah.
opposite way,
Yep.
where you could have had a goal kicked on you twice.
I'd much
and you
rather
didn't.
that. I'd much rather the pressure of running back and getting it away from the goals.
Yeah, well,
You did that very
you did
well.
Great, and actually
Thanks,
that was one of the
girls.
first things that my best mate said to me after the game. He said, "I don't know who that was, but my goalie, she was quick, and she did very, very well to save
Oh,
that
that's
goal."
really nice.
So
See?
Tell them I said thank you.
No, we haven't been this nice to you ever on
I
the
know.
podcast. What's happening?
you're welcome, Drisco.
Thanks, girls. So I'll ask the next question
Okay,
because
you
I
go.
wrote the script.
Yeah.
So Mackie, you've already told us you're a policewoman outside of football. What was the most interesting situation / call out when you're on duty?
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that I've seen and
yeah.
smelt and
Oh gosh.
yeah. I mean,
I don't even
And
want to.
yeah, again,
I don't want to build.
confidentiality.
Yeah.
Can't bring up too much. But
What I want to know is, like in the movies, when they chase down and tackle someone, have
do
you
do
done that?
Yeah.
yeah, Northbridge is pretty good for that. Yeah,
I bet. I
Yeah,
bet.
it's different experience in Northbridge than the rest of us.
Do you,
but
and do you get to ride the horses?
no. So that's
Oh.
you have to go to mounted section to do the
completely
course and
different
everything.
things.
So you just have to be
and do
on
that.
foot
Yeah. So
in Northbridge.
yep.
see, that's why you're so good at tackling.
Yeah.
We saw
I
it on the
thought so,
weekend. It's because she's in Northbridge on a Saturday night, chasing all the crooks down
Not
the
even
road
on-
and tackling
Not
them.
even on duty, just on my days off.
Just on my days off, I have strolled down to Northbridge
To practice my tackling technique.
Don't need Wade, just go down to
Just-
Northbridge.
Yeah. Sorry, Wayne. I don't need you to teach me how to tackle.
Oh,
I've got the
gosh.
blokes in Northbridge.
Oh god.
No, I did do a bit of a stint in the city before I went out to Cannington. So Northbridge was pretty good for those kind
Yeah,
of things. There was a lot
right.
of people that thought in their intoxicated state that they might get away, but they were kind of doing the old zigzags, and I was straight lining
Yeah.
it. So
That is.
and there's
so
a bunch
good.
of other intox people behind them screaming. So it was a bit of a get up and go.
I'd love to see
I'd love to see
the,
it. Yeah.
the CCTV of that situation.
How
Why
fast
don't
are
they
you
ever
allowed to
release
go?
that? Damn it.
Oh, sugar, I cut you off.
Go.
They should release that though. But how fast are you allowed to go in your car with the sirens on?
It depends on the situation. So there's a number of different priorities, I guess, is the easiest way to explain it.
I think you were explaining to me that the one of the main ones is when someone else needs backup.
Yeah, so if
You've
it's
gotta
if
get
it's an
there.
urgent backup, then if you're qualified to do so and you're in a vehicle that that allows that class and that priority of a driver, then you can do the maximum, which is a priority 1.
Okay. Which is what?
How fast
That's
is it?
140 kilometres.
Oh, it's not actually that
that's-
fast.
Well, have you gone 140? Do you want
Yeah,
to tell
do
the
you
cop?
need-
No.
Do you want to tell do you want to tell the cop that you've been 140 in your car?
We'll have words later, mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Any
Drisco's
other-
not playing next week because she's
Yeah,
actually been
she's in
arrested
lockdown,
and
yeah.
charged. She's been arrested and charged.
Breaking
Hey,
news, you heard
At
it here
least
first.
I pleaded guilty.
Is that
Not
at
yet.
least? At least I pleaded guilty.
Well, gee, thank you.
Thank you. Does that go well? You
For
just plead
pleading
guilty.
guilty after the fact and putting
Yeah.
everyone's lives at risk otherwise.
Okay. I'm only kidding. I go 100, not even 110.
In what zone, Drisco? Anywhere.
This is just you're shoveling yourself in. You just
So I
keep
do 100 in
going.
a school zone. I don't care.
Schools.
I got places to be, people to see, had to be done.
Yeah, I was late for my air appointment.
Oh, you know what? I bet people would come up with the best excuses ever, though. I bet.
Yeah, probably.
I do have actually a very valid question. How come? So, random breath tests. Oh, I don't know how you even say. Random breath tests. I've never, ever, ever seen or done one in Perth, in the city. But always out when I'm driving home to Northam, there's always in every country town I know, there's always RBTs.
Because you're dodgy. Yeah. Look at you. They're waiting for you specifically.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but Miller had it covered.
They're like no, Emma O'Driscoll's leaving again. Quick, round them up.
Last week you got to do in 140. Yeah. She's probably drunk this week.
Oh my God.
I wonder what we can get her to blow over.
Am I that number plate that flags on your system?
Yeah, it just flashes alerts.
Yeah. There you go.
Actually, get rid of that. That's my number plate. I think people can they look that up?
Yeah, I wouldn't give that out. Bleep that out. Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them your address and your phone number while we're at it? Hot Girl Summer.
I'm that person that would be conned so easily.
Yeah, what do you do when someone
Here's my
calls you
laptop
asking
password.
for all your details?
Here it is, my laptop password. Go get it. Gosh.
Oh my God, okay.
No, but I actually was genuinely like, honestly, do you do the same amount?
So I'm at general duties at the moment, so we tend not to do RBTs unless we're doing a traffic stop for a reason.
Okay.
That's more like a traffic unit that would be setting up RBTs and that kind of thing. So there would be some reason why there's targeting specific locations. But otherwise, given that it is random breath testing, I assume that it could be random.
Okay. I did think it would be
probably because you're going home on times when it's like double demerits and holidays and stuff like that.
But even like, I guess, country roads as well. Like, let's be honest, it's actually a lot easier to stop. Like, I would think in Perth, how they have to do a full like traffic block to get through people, whereas it's a lot easier in a town.
I think you also, maybe people don't quite expect it to be on a country road that's a bit quieter, and people might be trying to do the
people like you,
the sly one.
I'm not a criminal.
Well, you're making yourself out to be one.
I do love Orange is the New Black, but I'm not a criminal.
Because Orange is the New Black is a real good
it's
representation.
Based on a true story, isn't it?
Representation.
I hope so.
It's not.
It's
Don't.
I've watched a season of it, and I'm pretty sure that's probably not what it's
Orange
like.
is the new Drisco.
Yeah. Does orange look good on you?
Perfect.
Actually, you do like to wear orange, so maybe that's it.
We haven't got through half of the questions. You can start talking now.
Okay. All right. We'll go into something a little bit more serious. So, because I don't think people really know, and you can, tell us as much or as little as you like about that day in 2019, Christmas Eve. There was an incident at work. Tell us about it as much as you want or as little as you want, and how it's changed your perspective on things in your life.
Yeah, so Christmas Eve 2019, I was working a day shift, and there was a pursuit that involved a stolen vehicle, which we were fairly close to. So we attended to try and assist in stopping the vehicle, which the pursuit, the offender in that had obviously failed to stop for police. Unfortunately, things didn't quite go to plan, and I'm not 100% certain on the exact speeds or anything like that, but at the time that I was struck by the car, I think it was on Tonkin Highway, so I think it was roughly 70 to 80 kilometres an hour. I remember the majority of it, and when I woke up, I was on the side of the road and didn't really remember a lot. At the time, the first thing that I do remember is that there was an off-duty nurse that had come to render some assistance in the first instance, and then after that, one of the boys from work, I just remember seeing his face and telling him to call Izzy, and I said, my phone's in my pocket, just call Izzy. And he just said, she knows. And I was like, oh no, like she's going to be so worried. Like my first thing was just like, Izzy is going to be in pieces. And meanwhile, I think I was laying there in a spinal brace and blocking the entire of Tonkin Highway. So I'm really sorry to cause the traffic jam to a lot of people trying to get down south. But and from there, obviously went via ambulance, priority 1 to Royal Perth. And then, had a lot of treatment there. And didn't really know at the time the extent of the injury. So I was bleeding from the head, had a lot of pain in both legs. My neck and my head obviously was very sore. My ribs were quite sore. And it was just, there was a lot happening. Like, ED was, there was people, doctors, nurses, everyone was kind of everywhere. So there was a lot going on, and I just kept trying to look at Iz and be like, I'm okay. Like, I could see her, and I just thought, I'm okay. Like, I know it doesn't look okay, but I can feel that it's not as bad as what we think it could be.
How long did you spend in hospital?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit stubborn, so I wanted to get out of there
Really?
as quickly as I could. But I think I spent the night, or the majority of the night, in the spinal brace while they tried to get some of the MRIs and scans done, just to confirm that there was either nothing too serious spinally, or if it was serious, then it was going to be a bit of a lengthier process. But it was late Christmas Day that they said that I should be right to get out of there and go home, and gave me a big bag of medication to try and ease some of the pain. And I started trying to walk out of there, and then Izzy was up in arms saying, "You're not walking out of here, get a bloody wheelchair." So
You don't mess with Izzy.
I said, "Yes, Izzy, no worries, get me the wheelchair." But and that was Christmas Day. So it was a big sort of 48 hours, I guess. And it was a lot to go through, and a lot for Izzy to go through, as well as like my colleagues that were there, everyone at Cannington Police Station. I've got a lot of friends that are there, and Izzy and I are good friends with my supervisor at the time, and she came out at the time and saw sort of the state that I was in, and I think that was a bit distressing for her as well. And she ended up jumping in the ambo with me, and until then I couldn't really remember what had happened, and the paramedic kept asking me, "Do you remember what happened? Do you remember what happened?" And I saw that Jess was sort of sitting in the front of the ambo, and I was like, I think I remember what happened now. And that was kind of the point that it all started coming back to me. So it was sort of having her there, even though she probably, I didn't really want her to see me in that state, but having her there kind of gave me like that comfort to be like, oh, okay, like I know that it's okay. And I think that just kind of calmed me down a little bit, and then helped me sort of remember what had happened and where I was, and just kind of calmed me down to get me through the next 48 hours, I guess, and onwards.
What sort of happened like in the aftermath of that? So how long did it take you to sort of recover? Tell us about what injuries you did end up, because obviously they could have been significant. I remember, I was down in Albany, and I got a call from Juddy. Well, I asked Juddy, like, what the hell is going on? Because we'd kind of heard that there'd been an incident, but didn't know. And I was like, Juddy, what the hell's happened? And I remember her telling me, she was like, I don't think it's like real bad, but it could have been, catastrophic. Obviously, being hit by a car at, 70, 80 k's an hour, that most people would probably
be
die
dead
from that. What injuries did you have, and then what's that sort of, that process after that? Because like you said, that's real hard for your family and everything like that, and probably harder for them to see you like that than sometimes you knowing that I am okay, but everyone else seeing you like that.
So the injuries, there was a lot sort of more to do with my knees, more so than anything else. There was some staples that went into my head at the time in ED, just for the wound that was there. The knees, I think what had kind of happened is that they had both basically dislocated on impact. So there was ruptured ACL, PCL, MCL. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation, but lucky that both of you are physios. I think it was the posteromedial corner on one side and posterolateral corner on the other side, and a fractured fibula where the LCL had torn off on one side as well, with a little bit of meniscus in there on both as well. So, yeah, a lot that was going on, and a lot to be sort of restricted in both full length knee braces and on crutches. It was pretty uncomfortable.
I know for a lot of people, like, I guess, going through that, you'd be like, oh, they're actually not, like, that's not that bad, like, in terms of injury-wise. But I guess for you as a footballer, they're some of, the longest kind of injuries that you can recover from. And, normally they happen in a, not all together. Yeah. But, the ACL takes a year to recover. How did that, because obviously, to start off with, it would have been like, I'm so lucky to be alive, all this kind of thing. Yeah, when did it sort of hit you? Then you go, oh, this is kind of now, it's going to affect a lot of things from this point.
Yeah, I mean, initially it was, and it still is, like, I'm just so grateful that it wasn't more serious, or the worst. But I think that that's something that I don't want to take for granted.
Yep.
So I think that was my process. Like, if I've got this opportunity, even if it's going to be a year or a year and a bit, 2 years, like, realistically, I should either be dead or in a wheelchair, and why waste this opportunity, like this chance, the second chance? So I think that was more so the driving force behind it, was get yourself to a point where you can do all the things that you want to do that you probably shouldn't be able to do. So initially I don't think that there was a lot of confidence that I would be able to get back to playing footy, or even at this level. So I don't think that was the main goal initially, or that there was a lot of confidence in that. But yeah, I'm a bit stubborn when it comes to things, and I don't like to let that opportunity slip. And
I think that's just the definition of resilience.
Yeah, and it's incredible to listen to you talk about it and your, like, perspective on things. Obviously, there would have been a lot of real tough times throughout that, and it's a long rehab. And I'm sure you would have had times when you think back to what happened and all that kind of thing. And you go, like, why does this happen to me, kind of thing. Tell the fans or anyone that's listening, what's your kind of go-to with, how did you get through it, all that?
I think I probably wouldn't have been as well off, or even, got to this point without Izzy. Like, as much as it might not make sense, like, without her being like a rock and being there constantly, like, I couldn't walk, I couldn't get around the place. It wasn't easy. And she never wavered, Like, she's incredible.
You feel pretty lucky to have someone like her in your corner. Oh my God, you're going to make me, like,
I know.
cry in a minute. We're all getting that in tears. Oh my God, okay.
But yes, there was a lot of ups and downs, and it was just sort of trying to break things down into one step at a time. Get one surgery done, fix that, get the next surgery done, fix that, and then do whatever I can to get better. Like,
I got asked a question today, actually, in an interview about your surgeon who wrote something about an article or something about you, and how proud he was of you. Who was that, and how much did he have an impact on your recovery?
Yeah, so Dr. Pete Peter D'Alessandro, he is incredible. He did both of my surgeries, which turned out to be a little bit more complicated than he had initially suspected. I can't remember which leg it was, but one of the I think it's the perineal nerve was sort of trapped, and he had to spend a couple more hours trying to unpick that during surgery. So I think it caused a little bit of a problem for him as well. But I'm so glad that he was the surgeon that was able to sort of put me back together. And he's one of the most lovely blokes you'll ever meet. He would check in, constantly, and would always say that he was there if I needed to reach out or just needed anything. And just once the news was kind of broke that I was going to debut, he had posted something on Instagram because he was also on your surgeon as well. So he'd posted a little message on there for the both of us just to say, good luck and well done kind of thing. So.
And he also said that you two were two of the strongest athletes that he's ever met as well. So I think that was really special reading that from his perspective, whereby he's probably seen a lot of athletes come through. So I think that's amazing.
I haven't bloody cried on the podcast
Yeah, I
yet,
know.
and
I know.
I'm like real. I'm not holding it together. So strong right now.
No, that's really-
So, how then? Obviously, going through all that. I know we talked about your debut, but did you think back to all of this kind of thing, like when you got the news, and then when you finally ran out there, pulled that jumper on?
I think when Coops, Frizy and Bob had initially sort of told me on the Tuesday, I don't think I said anything for a little bit because I was still just like,
processing.
nah, like
Surely not.
this like wake up. No, this isn't the conversation that's happening. I was waiting for the let you down easy kind of, you may as well go to work kind of thing. But it was, I think during that time that I kind of thought back and was like, wow,
Wow.
It was just a lot to kind of take in. And I think people were, like some of the girls were sort of asking, does it feel real yet? Does it feel real? And I kept being like, no, not yet. Like, and they're like, oh, when you get to the ground, it will feel real. And then, I was kind of at the ground and I'm like, oh, just go take me seat. Like,
Well, you've been there, you've been there before. Like, it's not like, you hadn't been and watched before, but obviously a little bit different when you actually get down in the rooms and start warming up and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was just, it was something that I was just trying to take everything in. But I was oddly calm about the whole situation. I think the other girls were a little bit nervous, but I just felt like maybe it still didn't feel real, but I just felt like quite calm about what was about to happen. So, it was amazing to have my best mate Cam and Izzy present the jumper, and it was an awesome day, one that I'll never really forget.
We're all very proud of you.
You were meant to be there. You were meant to be there. See, that's what when you feel like you're just calm and collected in that, you obviously, like, it was your time to, show everyone, what you've been through. And, before the accident, you're absolutely flying, and we were like, yep, can't wait to see your round one, back in, 2020 season. But obviously we're stoked that you made your debut now. So we might jump straight into Mim's mailbag.
Yep.
Mim, it's your time to shine.
Hi. Hey, Mim. Okay, I've got a few questions. First one from Gabby O'Sullivan. Asks, what is the origin of your nickname Slick?
Of course, Sully's asked this one. She just wants a little bit of a shout out. So I think everyone kind of adopted Macca pretty quickly, and Gabby just wanting to be Gabby was a little bit different, and decided to start calling me Slick because she reckons that I'm fairly clean and the ground balls kind of just get picked up pretty easily. So she started that, and I don't know how many people have taken it on, but thanks, Gabby.
I'll vouch for that.
I do like slick. I think Izzy actually said it to me the other day.
Oh.
And I was like, that's odd.
I've
Gabby
never
calls
stuck.
me that, but
Yeah.
I mean, her and Gabby were hanging out the day before the
That's always a worry.
game, so
That's a worry.
Well, we just add that Izzy is Anne's wife.
Yes.
And their wedding photos are gorgeous. I keep bringing it back to the wedding because I've seen those photos so many times and they're just beautiful. But anyways, continue.
Angel Mills asks, what are your favourite hobbies outside of football?
oh dear, I don't know if I have time for hobbies.
She really
Have you not heard? Have you not heard? She just works and does football.
In the hub, though.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
hobbies.
Yeah,
see,
I'll find something.
We've got to teach you about hobbies. Because those are the hobbies. If you don't know what a hobby is, it's a thing that you do outside of work
Right.
for fun.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Learning something new
Yeah,
every day.
we'll teach you how that works.
No, I don't mind a bit
you
of
actually have
DIY
one.
stuff. So if I can tinker with a couple of things here or there, that's probably something that I'd get stuck into.
M. Galbraith asks, what is your favourite piece of fan mail you have received?
Oh,
You done any fan mail yet?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, there we go. M, send her some fan
Send
mail,
us some.
and
Fan
you'll be
mail,
the
yeah.
favourite. You'll be the favourite because it'll be her first one.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of messages on sort of Friday and Saturday from a lot of people showing support. That was pretty special. But yeah, I suppose there's a first for everything. And Drisco, if you want to send something my way, I'm more than happy to take that.
No, Em's pretty good at that. She's from York, so we're near where I'm from. So she made me a little, in her art class, made me a picture of myself. No, it's actually really good. And then you haven't seen it,
I haven't
on a
seen it.
shirt, she printed a picture of me, like in like the podcast. You know how you have like the line at the bottom and like the frame, like
Yeah.
the front cover of like the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, and then put sport isn't a subject on it. Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
great.
Pretty cool. So maybe
Where's mine?
Yeah,
and we'll have a competition on who can send Macca the best portrait of herself.
Of herself. All right.
Gorgeous.
M, you're on.
One for all of you here from the Freo Hub. Do you girls have a Macca's run after a good win?
just everyone runs to my place.
I
Yes.
think they might be talking about McDonald's, but I like
right.
your
I
idea
thought I was
better.
the only Macca
I
that
like
would be-
your idea better. Let's all run to your house after. Guys, let's run to Macca's house after a win. What are you going to provide for us? Salad.
Yeah. I'm sure Izzy will have some dip and crackers or
Yes.
something for us.
Mike asks, Macca, what was your reaction when Drisco missed the goal?
She's
I
already
was-
done it.
I was mid-celebration, so I felt, I felt like a bit of a twat at the same time. I think I felt Drisco's pain.
Yeah.
But also was probably screaming for the ball too. It was like, give it to me, Drisco, I've missed two. I need this.
That is so good. That's
Um,
so good.
But no, yeah, it was a bit of a...
Shambles at the time. It was a bit of a shambles.
I'm really enjoying this because we're getting a few more roasts. I thought we
are,
weren't going
we
to talk
are,
about it, but
we
here we
are.
go.
All right, last one. I think this might be more for Drisco. Cal from upstairs.
Kale! He's back, baby! I haven't worn Kale off, which is good.
For anyone that doesn't know the story about Kale, he asked a question every week last year, and then one day just goes, "Man, who is this Kale guy?" And he works upstairs.
I was like, Kale is bloody dedicated, I'll tell you that. He's here every week.
Oh, God.
Anyways,
what does Cal
he
ask?
says, G'day, Drisco. Cal from upstairs here. Just wondering if you know why they had to replace the right goalpost at Freo Oval after the weekend. There seems to be a massive dent in it. Shoot 'em straight. Cal from upstairs.
I wonder if that was Drisco doing 140 on Freo Oval and just went straight into the bowl.
That's why there was donut marks on the field.
That is,
It was
you know
just
what?
going for a joyride after the
There
game.
he is, Kale. Yeah, he got me back.
There he is. Oh, that was fantastic. Well, let's just touch on. Obviously, we're going away for the hub.
Yep.
We're excited for Hub Life. We didn't go through actually what I was going to ask in the questions just previously because we had to cut out quick fire just then. But Drisco would like to ask, can you arrest me for being too sexy?
Drisco, there's definitely not enough evidence for us to proceed with that kind of charge, so you're scot-free, mate.
Even with the new hair?
But not for going 140.
No, you're done for going 140.
Oh, anyway, on that one,
I'll send you a summons in the mail.
That's it for this week. Magga, how was your first podcast experience?
Yeah, incredible. One that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I have no doubts.
You beauty.
Now, Drisco wants to read off her script and finish up the podcast because apparently this is going to be
Drisco's
fantastic.
script?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know?
hear about that.
You didn't know? Wow.
She only told us 10 times.
Okay, well, are you ready for the
Outro?
conclusion?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening. This is why I'm unscripted.
Go.
Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with everyone because I'm having a hot girl summer and need a platform to go from. We're off to Melbourne next week, so tune into our potty on the road. We know how entertaining these can be when it's late nights with hot choc. In the meantime, live the lives you love to live. Okay, see ya.
Wow.
What the hell is that?
Oh, how many takes did she get of that?